Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
Why are you speeding up? Just because you're getting louder. The crescendo is volume, not fucking speed. Welcome, drum fanatics, rhythm riders and beat believers. You've tuned into Drum and Drummer, the podcast that dives deep into the heart and soul of drumming. Whether you're a seasoned pro, a bedroom basher, or just someone who loves the thunder of a perfectly placed backbeat, you're in the right place. We'll be exploring everything from legendary drummers and iconic drum kits to the latest techniques and trends shaping the drumming world today. So, grab your sticks, find your groove, and let's get ready to roll.
Wow, that was great. What was that? Did you write that?
Well, that, George, was written
AI?
by AI.
Yeah.
Yeah?
AI is great, isn't it?
So that was option one, energetic and enthusiastic.
Okay, what's the sensual and arousing one? I want to hear that one.
Well, what I'll do is I'll do the informative and conversational option next week.
Okay, yeah. Keep going through them.
But that was
Yeah.
have you dabbled about with AI at all?
So let me tell you about AI. So I used it a bit when I had to do an MVQ at the old job. You know, you get a question, you're like, that doesn't make sense. Put it in AI. There's the answer, and you reword it. But Swanee, I was with Swanee the other day, Brighton Swanee. He was on about teaching, and he said before I used to spend days working out lesson plans, you know. And he said now I just type in a lesson plan into AI, and there it is, you know. And we were waiting to go on stage at this gig, and he was like, "All right, mate, just check this out. Just check this out." He goes, goes 1 hour paradiddle lesson, you know, and writes it, and it's just like perfect. It's like, here's the warm up, here's how you know. You're like, how does it know drums? You know what I mean? And he said, I even use it more than Google now. You know, he said, now if you try and Google something, it just gives you a load of shit, you know. You're like, how long can you keep chorizo in the fridge? You know what I mean? That's my example. And and it's just like, some are like 2 days and then throw it out, or you will die. And then the other one's like 4 months and it's still pretty good, if anything better, you know. Whereas if you put it into AI, there's no ads either, you know. So I'm all for it. And I think with the lesson plans, I haven't really delved in, but I think it's not cheating, you know. I don't think.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's got its information from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, it scoured the depths of the internet and pieces it all together. So, no, I've not really used it, but obviously the topic of AI music comes up quite a bit. Oh, you can't beat original human songs and
the creativity soul.
Yeah. No, but it can come up with some funny, cool stuff. Give you an idea at least. Give you a starting point. And I think, you know, Logic has, I don't use Logic anymore, but that has a thing called Session Drummer in it. And that kind of you give it prompts and it will come up with a sort of drum beat to match, you know, country beat in 4/4 at this speed.
Yeah.
Drum fills every 4 bars, and it will do something rather than manually programming. And I think it can be used to get to your destination a bit quicker, but probably still needs the input. But no, a friend of mine, he's spoken to me before about he uses it to write lesson plans for teaching. Yeah. And my brother actually, who's a big old nerd, science boy, he uses it to help write course.
It's good enough for Tom.
Notes and lectures for a master's course at Oxford University. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good enough for him. And it's good enough to write an intro for drumming podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know? So I just thought that was a little bit of fun. But that was using the Google Gemini. I've not used anything else like ChatGPT or anything like that. I was just using Google Gemini. So,
okay.
Because there's different ones, isn't there?
Be interesting to see the difference in what different AI software comes out with. If you put the same thing in. Yeah.
I'm
sure people have done that.
For sure.
You know.
Well, I was going to say, when you Google something, the top bit is now an AI suggestion.
Well, it is, yeah.
You know, I'll tell you,
So
a
you may as well.
recent one I used that was when I got my new door in the garage, innit?
Oh yeah,
Like, cost a pretty penny, not cheap. Not
yeah,
cheap.
you keep going
Good
on
door
about how
though.
much it
Yeah,
costs.
yeah, and I will till the day I die.
Yeah.
Popped in, average price of a new composite front door. You go, this is AI analysis. This is the average. Paying bang on average. Cool. I'm happy.
Yeah.
The machines have told me it's okay. I'm
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was my little AI intro. I'll do
No,
another
I
one.
liked it.
I think
Yeah,
there is
yeah,
a third. There's a third option as well, because that was energetic, enthusiastic. Next week I'll do informative and conversational. And then there's a third option, focused on the love of drumming.
Right.
So I didn't ask for 3 options; just gave them to me.
Yeah, it does
know.
do that. Yeah.
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 Yapping on. Bloody
Yeah.
machines. Anyway, how are you?
Yeah, good. I don't really know what to begin with. So we're doing 2 episodes today because life gets busy. So I was like, I need some stuff to talk about, you know? And I once did some research for an episode where I learned about Vic Firth drumsticks. And beyond that, I've never really done any other research. So I just got lazy and just messaged some people. And I was like, hey, what do you think I should talk about on the pod? Oh, actually, let's start with the correspondence. So we've had a bit of correspondence from Stuart Smith. Stuart wrote in to say...
The SS. Oh, no. Don't say the SS. Oh. Stuart Smith is not affiliated with the SS. That's just his initials.
Oh, right. You know, you were asking about kids' names yesterday. Not yesterday, last week. Last episode at the school. One kid said, my initials are Wham, right? And first name William, and then middle names begin with H and A, and then his last name something M. He's like, Wham. And I was like, surely your parents did that on purpose. He was like, no, they didn't. I was like, well, that's amazing. But he was like the band. He's like 6. And I was like, I love that you know Wham, you know? I mean, obviously his parents have told him, hey, just so you know, you got the same initials as a band from the 80s who were only around for about 3 years, but have quite the legacy.
It's often the case. Often the case. The legacy outlasts. You know, you see bands that they were only going for 3 years.
Yeah,
yet it felt like a lifetime.
Exactly. Jackass, the TV show. You know, before they did all the reunions, it was like 2 series. You know, but it's in the zeitgeist.
For sure.
It's a good word, isn't it?
Fawlty Towers. It's only 12 episodes.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
The Office.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
They're so good. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I wonder with that kid,
the war.
the parents are like, no, we had no idea. Yet his last name ends in an exclamation mark.
You see them turn up to parents' evening and they, you know, got the earring and looking like George Michael. You're like, you sure you didn't do this on purpose? Oh, no. See you later. Right. So the SS has messaged. No, joking. Stuart Smith has messaged. Hey, guys. Enjoyed this week's podcast, especially the memories of the Lurpak Man. Here's a question. What do you think is the best pop trombone solo? My vote would be the one in I'm Coming Out by Diana Ross. I'm going to put this one more to you, Ben, because you're the trombone man. And to be honest, I can't think of any trombone solos. So
yeah, well...
Oh, can I just say one more thing?
Yeah.
I listened back to our episode. Your impression of the Bumblebee...
It's good, wasn't it?
Man? Really good. Like, surprisingly good. I was listening while I was walking down the street. And it's like, oh, yeah, you know, so he's the Lurpak Man. And he did it, but, like, it sounded like a trombone. I was like... And then I was trying to do it, you know, just walking down the beach or whatever, just to myself, like...
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't get the notes in.
Yeah, it's a skill, you see. It comes from years of playing the trombone. But first of all, SS, thanks for, not the SS, but SS. Thank you for listening. Appreciate it. Thanks for getting in touch. First thing I'm going to say is, yes, the Lurpak Man. I couldn't remember his name at the time. I've since learnt Douglas. He had a name. His name was Douglas.
Of course he did.
Again, not a name we see that often these days. But no, I have to agree, George, when I edited the episode and we got to my little bit, I was like, that is exactly how it goes. And what I think we should do is cut that out and cut the Lurpak bit and just put them directly next to each other.
Yeah.
To just
definitely.
see how close. I might have even been in the right key. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably. Have
But
you
yeah.
seen, sorry, I'm very ADHD today. Have you seen, got to stop throwing that word around. There's a brilliant thing on I don't know if it's like Radio 2 where they get people to call in with tunes they've heard from the past but don't know what they are, but have them going around in their heads. It's mental. It's amazing.
And they sort of sing it to try and get people to work out what it is. Right, okay.
Yeah. And there was one, and it was this woman like, da, 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 da. And she's like, I've had that in my head since 1973 and I don't know what it is, you know. And then they find it, and it's like some German band from the 60s that no one had heard of that played in a fairground once. And she's like, oh my God, that's it, you know. But it's funny,
and then she
innit?
dies because she's at peace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like when a monk finally gets enlightened, you know. She's finally found the music that's been in her
She
soul.
just freezes and like evaporates into the sun. Off she goes.
But it's like you with the Lurpak, man. You know, imagine, you know, younger Ben Winty watching that advert, you know, and it's seared into your brain. That, you know, the way his eyebrows go up and down as well. Old Douglas the Lurpak, man. It's great stuff.
Well, when you're a kid
anyway.
and you play an instrument, I'm sure many people out there listening will have experienced the same. Whether you're a drummer, a trombonist, you play the clarinet, the meat oboe, whatever tickles your fancy. Slang, innit?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
You become an easy sort of gift-giving recipient.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a keyring with a trombone on it. Great, yeah. I play the trombone.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I do, is it?
Yeah.
There's nothing else about me,
Yeah.
Mum, that,
Yeah.
you know, I got just a pin badge of a cymbal. Yeah, I play the drums as well.
It's every birthday card I got beyond the age of 11 was just a guitar, you know?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
And here's the thing. Now I'm, you know, I don't have my own children, but my brother has two. I can absolutely see why they do it, because they go, they don't give a fuck about what you're up to. I got no idea what they're into.
No.
So I remember 4 years ago, I saw my nephew playing Minecraft. So that's it now. Until you're 18, it's all going to be Minecraft, whether you grow out of it or not. Here's a Minecraft bit of Lego. It is something, you know.
I saw a man going to the bank once, just before Christmas, and asked for...
Shot the place up. It was
15 £20 notes, and he's like, can I get 15 £20 notes, please, you know? And he said, it's Christmas coming up, and I've got 15 grandchildren. They're all getting 20 quid. And I thought, that's amazing, because they'll probably all be like, brilliant, Grandad's the best. But it took him 2 minutes to do that, do you know? He doesn't know any of them personally, clearly, you know?
Yeah, he's got no idea.
They're all getting the money. But it's close enough, you know? He's gone, 300 quid, fine. I think that's right maths. Is that right maths?
That's good maths, yeah.
Is that, anyway, what's your favourite trombone solo?
Well, I'm trying to think. I heard something the other day, and I was like, "Oh, trombone solo in that." But I can't think of. I can't think of really any of the topic. I was very much a classical trombonist.
Yeah.
So, however, one that definitely sticks out for me is, and it's less. It's not pop. It's it's not really commercial. But do you know the band Sublime?
No.
Very good sort of ska punk band, bit of reggae.
Oh, right.
They had like one or two cracking albums, and then the singer guitarist died quite young. I think he's part of the 27 Club, maybe. Mm-hmm. Even that, I think they're going now, but the singer's son is now fronting the band.
Okay.
But they were sort of like, that's really, you might recognise the song, but there's one song in there called, I don't think they had a horn section, but they used a horn section a bit. And I used to have this really old DVD of Sublime, and it had footage of Sublime and No Doubt playing at like a skate park in like the early 90s or something. But there's a song in there on one of their albums called Wrong Way, and that has an awesome trombone solo.
Fair.
But other than that, I don't really... I can't really think of too many, but I sort of, that's the thing, when I was playing trombone, I was all classical and that, and then I got into bands, my first sort of proper band was a ska band. So I got into all your Les and Jakes and your Real Big Fishers, and so they had horn sections. So there's a lot of horns and brass stuff going on in that sort of third wave ska. But one of my favourite bits, it's not necessarily a solo, but it's a song by Les and Jake, where I think it's called Nervous in the Alley, and there's one of my favourite things happens in it, where it drops down to, it's got this main riff played on the horns, and well, I really like it in songs where it drops to like drums and vocals.
Yeah,
I think that's a really powerful tool to use in songs. But in this song, it drops down to drums and trombone.
Wow.
And it's like, that is me.
Yeah.
Sums me up. That is me.
Yeah.
But it's a cool riff with a sweet drum beat behind it. But
love it.
So to answer your question, Sublime, Wrong Way, cracking trombone. So very difficult solo as well. Goes very high.
There you go, Stuart.
I remember.
I will say the I'm Coming Out song is an interesting one on drums, because the drum intro, you aware of the drum intro? It's
no,
like
not off the top of my head.
It's kind of like, it's like, I'm coming out, and she's just kind of singing that round in a loop, I'm coming, and while she's singing, she sounds exactly like that. The drummer's just kind of, it sounds random, and I'm not sure if what he played is planned, but I don't think it is, or she, but probably he, it's like the 70s. Different terms, and but I remember we had to learn it at BIM, and it was just impossible. We were like, how are we going to learn this? And the drummer, Vinny Lammy, taught us his way of learning this piece, and it was fascinating. Anyone listening that went to BIM will remember him doing this, because it was quite iconic. He, rather than writing notation, he just wrote like words, like do da, as in literally D-O-D-O-D-O-D-A, and that meant do-do-do-da, and he was like, I know it looks mental, but read the whole thing and you'll know exactly what it means. And we all did, and I remember him showing Pat Garvey it, and saying like, if Pat did this, he tried it out properly with like notation and stuff, but he was like, I don't know how to read notation, so this is how I'm going to do it. And it all made sense, and then we all just kind of copied his thing. And then we all played it perfectly, and I was like, that was mental. I've never done it since. I've never written a drum chart with, I guess phonetically. That's probably not the right word.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
But if you listen to that drum intro, anyone listening, or you, Ben, it's kind of like, how would you chart that out, And it turns out the best way to chart it out is write nonsense words. So,
well, we
interesting.
definitely have like a verbal way of demonstrating drums, like constantly, in the studio, like Neil will say to me, like, okay, boom, ga, booga, boom, ga, taka, taka,
and you're like, that's way too hard, I can't do that, like, let's simplify it.
But I see on Reddit, some people might be like, oh, how do you play this drum part, or there'll be a bit of drum notation, someone like, how do you play this? And because in Reddit it's mainly text based, or you can people will write it out phonetically, boom, ba, ba, dum, ba. And then a lot of people go, yep, I understood that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, literally.
Rather than going into the actual like analysis of one eander, two eander, all those sorts of things. They just write the phonetics out, and people go,
as drummers, and anyone listening to this, we'll have all had it in rehearsals. I had it the other day, which I'm going to use as a segue into my rehearsal.
Lovely segue.
The singer will demonstrate what she wants on the drums, but doesn't play drums. So she was trying to show me how it's like the live version, the drummer's playing, and then they drop out for 3 bars, and then they come back in with a fill. And she sort of demonstrated the fill, and I was like, yep, I know exactly what you mean, And I played it, and she was like, yep, he did know exactly what I meant, But I want to talk about this rehearsal. So this was with a new band.
New bands coming out your ass.
I know, it's too many. Lainey Wilson tribute act. Have you heard of Lainey Wilson?
No, I haven't.
Like,
so to me, it's
like,
surprising there's a tribute act.
I know. So she's like the new country. There's a lot of country going on in the States. and a lot of it's coming over to here, and they're selling out arenas, you know, like Chris Stapleton, he's a big one, you know. So people are making big money off doing these tribute shows. Do you know, it's like, it's kind of because I'm just not aware of that world at all. It's like if you think about like K-pop, and it's like I don't know anyone that listens to that stuff, you know, but they'll do like 2 nights at Wembley Stadium. You're like, who's going to that, you know? We all know who's going to that, you know, guys that like anime. But anyway, but we had this rehearsal. And I'll tell you what I really liked about it. A lot of the songs were quite slow. And I was able to just play slowly, which isn't something I feel like I do that much, you know. So some of them like country ballads, and you're just playing slowly, just keeping the beat. And I'm really trying to be confident with the beat, you know, to the other members in the band, be like, I don't know why you're speeding up. We are not going faster than this, you know. But yeah, it was good.
There's definitely something to be said for, you know, a lot of the time you're drumming when you're learning and when you're practicing or whatever. It almost seems like there's this target of faster, more hits, more, you know, speed. Got to be all like, you know, all that.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, there's a place for it, sure. But there's something about playing a solid, laid-back groove with a lovely bit of feel and space.
Yeah.
Let those fills have some space. Blah, boom, blah, blah,
yeah.
You know, it's all there. It's all there.
Yeah.
So there's something about you can get into it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can. You absolutely
You're not like
can.
fighting it. You're like into, ooh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, the groove, yeah.
Yeah.
Little all that sort of stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing.
Was that not the thing?
No, that's the part of the thing. Do not confuse slow tempo with quiet.
Yeah.
You can get the two together. You can. and this was
I wish listeners could see what your hands just did.
We'll get there. We'll put the zoom on the gram. Innit?
Yeah.
But this is what I found, even at the Royal College of Music, with incredibly talented, you know, peers. Just because we're getting quieter doesn't mean we should slow down.
No.
Why are you slowing down?
No.
Does the score say slow down?
Yeah.
Does it say rallentando or ritenuto? Fucking doesn't. Why are you slowing down? Just says get quieter, mate. It's just a hairpin from a mezzo forte to a piano. It doesn't say slow. It doesn't say slow down, does it? And vice versa. Why are you speeding up? Just because you're getting louder. The crescendo is volume, not fucking speed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So don't confuse the two. Don't. It's quite common that you do the two simultaneously. You play quiet, you slow down. And if you're doing a slow groove, you know, and you're building up, don't speed up.
No.
Don't speed up.
Exactly.
Listen, there's always natural flow.
Ebbs and flow.
We're not robots, but and it's common. Just because you're doing a drum fill, why are you speeding up? Yeah, you don't need to speed up. You know. So what I'm saying is at a point like, you're playing that slow groove, but don't know why you're speeding up, Sunshine, on guitar. I'm taking us to Steady Town. We're staying here.
Exactly. So
sorry, it was a big bugbear of mine.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Music career.
And here was me worried we wouldn't fill 2 episodes. But it is fun, and I was just kind of sat there just playing this beat, going, music's quite fun, innit? Do you know what I mean? I was just like, this is fun. I'm just sat here, and everyone was rehearsed. The singer was brilliant, you know. I was going to say if you're listening, but there's no way she's listening. Yeah, it's just great. It's just great fun, and it's nice. It's nice to join a new thing and go like, cool. Got some new gigs, and a lot of them seem to be on Sundays, so that's good. Double bubble, you know. Do a Saturday with you in Reading, and then do another gig with her probably in Reading. Yeah. That was the first city that came to my head. That Conor Griffiths sent me that reel the other day. It's never gonna die, you know. It's amazing.
I remember I went to Reading when I was younger, because there was like a, back when you're into, like, I was into all the alternative clothing and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Go to Reading, and apparently there was a skate shop that had like Dickies and Atticus and Bench and that sort of Animal, Rip Curl, Billabong, all those sorts of Vans. There was a lot of shops that had that sort of vibe, and I remember there was always this rumour that this skate shop in Reading, if you went to the counter and asked to buy some cotton wool, that was code for weed.
Oh, yeah.
They'd like sell you some weed. Can I buy some cotton wool?
Yeah.
Never tried it out, but
No.
it's probably one of them absolute horseshit rumours.
Yeah.
Yet, could be true. Could have been true.
Have you heard, here's a good one, have you heard that rumour, which apparently is true, from the 80s?
That Miss Henry's got a wooden tip.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be funny if Miss Henry had a wooden tip? Yeah.
In the 70s and 80s, bands would have to list what they wanted, like, for their album in terms of like costs and stuff, and they'd put fade out guy. So there would be an engineer that would do all the fade outs for the songs. That person didn't exist. That was just their cocaine budget. So they'd be like, oh, we've got to get a fade out guy on the album. That'll be at least $2,000 because we've got to get the best fade out guy, And then the labels be like, yeah, okay, cool, fade out guy, And then that was the drug money. So, yeah.
Again, could be horseshit, could be true.
Could be
Brilliant
horseshit,
if true.
Probably true.
Let's believe it's true for the lols.
Let's believe it's true. I was at a festival once, and Love Supreme. It's I was around here somewhere. I know we got a train from Brighton and didn't have to go that far, but I was, I'd enjoyed myself that day, and I was very hungry. That's all you need to know. And so I was like, well, there's nothing open anymore, and like for food apart from a pie place, and I was like, all right, mate, you got any pies left? He was like, yeah, big time. And he was like, what else can I get you? And I was like, I think I'm good,
Just want a pie. I'd actually like a pie.
Yeah, he was like, and he sort of winked. He's like, no, what else can I get you? And I was like, honestly, I'm full, So yeah, he was trying to sell drugs underneath a pie, probably. But
just about. No, I'm full. Wink. But what else can I get you? And he's just trying to sell you a Fanta or something.
Yeah,
like
just mash
chips.
Yeah,
you're both on this. I'd just like a pie. What else can
a pie, you say? Yeah. It's like, have you tried the gravy? Anyway, the last thing I'm going to talk about, because we need to do another ep, and I'll save all the questions from other people on next ep. But I had 2 cajon gigs over the weekend. And I was just thinking about our phrase low impact gig, and my God, were they low impact. So I'll just tell you about my little stint up in London. I went up on the Friday afternoon time. Can't really remember. Doesn't really matter. On the train with my cajon.
What?
Just
how long does it take to get from Brighton to London on the train? An hour?
An hour.
Hour 10?
Yeah, an hour. And then it's a
quick at Victoria?
Tube. Yeah, and I didn't even get the tube. I went Brighton to Victoria, it's about an hour, and then walk, and you just kind of go through Buckingham Palace, and then not through it.
Through it.
Yeah. All right, Charles.
I've been to Buckingham Palace.
Have you?
I've actually performed in the gardens of Buckingham Palace.
That's pretty cool. Did you meet the Queen?
The Queen was there. Didn't meet them. I didn't go in the palace, but I played with a brass band at uni. And we went in the side entrance. We came into the garden, and it was like a 250th anniversary of the Royal Society of Arts or something like that. So we played some stuff, and then I think an RAF band played.
Nice.
So it was all like full security and all that. And we went in. So we played in the garden. We could see there was a lot of guests there. We could see the Queen and Philippe. And But the best thing, the funniest thing was we had a trombone player in the band called Owen, this Irish guy, and he was just sort of classic Irish, very funny, but didn't matter how smart you dressed him, he looked a state. Do you know what I mean? Like, so we were in like proper like dinner suits with bow ties.
Yeah, Buckingham Palace.
That was what we wore. And so there was like this kind of buffet under this sort of canopy sort of thing. And at some point we'd performed, and then we were allowed to go and get some food from this, just sandwiches and finger food. So we went over and we grabbed some stuff, and then we sort of come back to where we're playing. And then we see the RAF band go and get their food. And they sort of walked over in like regiment, like all in a line.
Yeah.
1, 2, 2. And at this point, Lazy Owen was walking back, right, with his sort of shirt untucked, his bow tie skew-if, with just like 6 sandwiches in each hand. Just walking back, almost looked pissed, probably was. Just
I love it.
Stumbling back across Buckingham Palace. And I think he even had sandwiches in his pockets.
Amazing.
So,
what a legend.
Anyway,
sorry, I was listening. Someone started a fire next door.
Okay.
And I was a bit worried, is it their house or is it in their garden? I started smelling smoke. I saw smoke. I think it's a bonfire sitch. There's a man in his garden. He doesn't look stressed. That was quite wild. I thought, what if his house is on fire? And that's my house too. I
wonder what evidence he's burning.
Well, this is true. I've got lots I can throw in there. But yeah, there are people like that.
While you're at it, mate, I've got some very incriminating evidence I need.
Yeah, this is it. Take these boxes, but don't look in them. Anyway, well, where is Owen now?
you walked to your gig.
Oh yeah, so I walked to my gig.
If you burn down, you burn down. We'll work through it.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Lease is up in September anyway. So I got there, Oxford Street, got the cajon on the stage, played for 2 hours.
What, outside on the street?
No, sorry.
No.
In Market Halls, same place as last time.
Oh,
played for 2 hours with Frances and her partner, and then left at 9. And then went and saw Tom Jenkinson. Had a few pints, and then I was like, right, I'm going to go with my brothers. So I got the tube to Camden, stayed with my brothers, and then the next morning we went out with my parents, who happened to be in London.
Following you, suspicious.
Yeah, well, it was weird. We're all, by some mad coincidence, we're all in London.
Just checking you're okay, George.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And so anyway, yeah, we did. We had sort of breakfast together, and then Amy Lee was about, so I met her with Amy Lee. We just kind of wandered about all day.
That's
it was
one
quite
person,
a busy day.
not Amy and Lee. Yeah.
No, yeah, very, very much just one person. But it was a busy day because it's a Newcastle-Liverpool game, and there was a lot of protests, and the boxing was on or something, and the rugby. I don't know. It was just all the sports were on. But then after a while, I was like, right, I'm going to go Canary Wharf, and then I went to Canary Wharf for my other cajon gig, and then got on the tube, and then on the train, and went home. And I was like, what a nice little weekend that was, And it was like the gigs left no impression, It was like it was more stressful trying to get a pint in a pub, than doing a cajon gig, It was like a cajon gig, you just sort of sat down, So yeah, good.
You literally sat on your instrument.
Literally just sat on your instrument.
That's the good thing with a cajon gigs. You've always got a chair.
You've always got a chair, boy.
Yeah. Do you need a stool for you sitting in the pub? So I just got to sit on my cajon.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We've got another one on Sunday, so that'll be nice. But yeah,
there's no better feeling than making the money back you paid for the cajon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Because you're like, I've got a cajon. Right, when you first start doing it, right, but it's buy a cajon, get a cajon. Oh, that's $120 down to pisser. Oh, I'm up now for sitting on a box and tapping it a bit.
Yeah,
I'm now in the black, in the profit. Let's go.
Yeah, this is it.
Let's go. Great stuff. Well, let's wrap up there.
Yeah. And there was me worried we wouldn't fill it.
No, and
too much.
You've not even heard about my car washing. Whoa.
Yeah.
Tune in next week. To listen to a nearly 40-year-old man talk about his weekend.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. Get in touch, drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Follow the Instagram @drumanddrummerpodcast. George, anything else to say?
No, that's it. I might brush my teeth before the next one. That's all I got.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram @drumanddrummerpodcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.